Hey, welcome, watching Fishing with the Old Rob. That's Uncle Rob, and I say that because my nieces asked me to take them fishing, and they're younger nieces, so I did a little research and setting up so I could take them fishing. Now, when I normally go fishing, this is my rod right here. I got a 5.5 pound line, and this is a topwater frog. That's for my bass fishing right there. Believe it or not, this thing is easier for me to cast than this one right here. This one right here is a 6 pound line, and this is a minnow jig that I swear by these minnow jigs. I mean, I get hits on those little jigs all the time, but that's casting and bringing back, casting and bringing back, casting and bringing back. And when I cast this is a Zepco. I love Zepco products. This thing will cast far, but instead of the rod where I go like this and the rod does most of the work, I gotta kind of throw my arm, and then it'll still get the same distance. But these are the poles that I picked up for my little ones to use right here. So in the future, I'm going to show you what worked better for them. Okay, let's put that one back there. But this is what I want to show you also. I picked this up right here. Keep your eye out right here. This is the same thing as that other $10 one that I got. That's Zepco. Now this is a Shakespeare. Okay, so Shakespeare's a lot of good products. I have 2 reels that actually the gears went bad in them, but I mean it's good product still. Okay, but this right here was $3.88, $3.88. So this is going to be awesome to take the little ones out. Now this right here, this little rubber fish right here, that's for you to tie into the end after you line it, so you can practice in your front line casting the pole, practicing casting the pole. But we're not going to have practice time. We're just going to go right out to catch. Now when you're taking little ones out, when I take little ones out, I'm not going to take them out for the bass or for the stuff that you got to keep casting and cranking, casting, cranking, casting, and cranking. I'm going to take them out for little sunfish, little sunfish, little bluegills, and stuff that the little fish kind of swim around, that if you just put it like maybe 3 feet from the edge or 5 feet from the edge, the little fish are going to come around. And you could use, this is bee moth maggots, fake by Berkeley. I love Berkeley products. That's why I got these power baits here I was going to show you. But also there's chum. Let me get it out of here. This is actually trout chum, and this is like Play-Doh. So other kids don't need it like Play-Doh, but it's like a little Play-Doh that you could make little balls out of and put it at the end of the hook, and the fish hit that. I just pulled up a ton of bluegill and a ton of sunfish on this right here. Alright, let me get the scissors to cut these plastics out to 388, and I'll show you what I'm lining up for a little kid. Okay, I cut everything loose. You see, now look for one that already has this little clip on here. This is just so the line don't go all the way back in, but you hit this and you give yourself some more room, like to come out the tip of it, and then you got to reel it to lock it. So it's locked in place. It's not going to come out any further than that. Then you cut your little band off right here that was holding it in place, and then you line it. This one only got 2 eyelid loops, so you line it through your eyelid loops right here. Like I said, this is a rig that we're going for sunfish, so I'm just going to do some basic knot for you here. Sunfish, you could actually drop it, if you're in a good area with sunfish, you could drop it 3 to 5 feet down and it'll catch. There's 2 different types of slip bobbers. I actually don't have the ball ones. I can't find them because I normally don't use them, but I know I do have them somewhere. But it's going to be the same concept of what I'm going to show you how to use. Okay, so you got your line right here, and it's through the tip of the pole with some extra space right here. Alright, now believe it or not, some people may not agree with me here, but this is for little sunfish, for little fish. And with the little fish, the kids will actually catch more of the little tiny fishes than one bass or one deep down catfish. You know, so you want to keep them interested so they can feel they can catch fish. We're talking about 6-year-olds, maybe 7-year-olds. Okay, so what I got here is, I'm going to show you the hook right here. Man, it's all tangling up right here coming out. Alright, I'll put this back in. I got one. Okay, now the hooks I'm rigging for this one, and you're going to say, that's insane, that's too small. Well, you know what, the good thing is that when you got a lot of little schools of fish, the small ones, believe it or not, come out to bite at it. And sometimes you look out where one of the big fish kind of pushes everybody out the way and then gets hooked. But this is what's called a size 12 hook. That's a size 12, and it got a little leader on it right here. Alright, I got this off of Amazon.com. Is where I got this size 12. Sometimes you won't find them in stores. I found them in stores in Mississippi, not Mississippi, Missouri, by Robidoux Creek. They have these because they fish for trout with these little 10s and 12s. But the line was actually a lot thinner on that one. All right. So what I'm doing with this on the line is I'm going to hook this line onto this line to make it one complete line. So I'm putting it through the hoop right. There's two ways to do it. There's an easier way to do it, a basic way. But I'm going to show you a fisherman's knot, the way I tie most of my stuff. So you got the loop right here. You put the line through it right here. So it's through it. You give yourself some space, okay? And then you turn it, put it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it's around 3 times. Then you go through the little loop at the bottom that you made. Not all the way down here, the little loop that you made. And then you come back up through the secondary loop that you made. Right there. And that's a fisherman's knot. That's not going to come out at all. Okay? So, you wet the line. And you tie it tight. And there it is. That's size 12 hook is on there, okay? I cut it down some. Now there's different types of bobbers. This is what's called the slip bobber, where you put the line through here and it goes through the bobber, and there's a little bead that sits on the line that you crunch on the line. So when you put it in the water, the bobber slips all the way up to that bead and it'll stop right there. And these are what the bulbs come in, the little bulbs. I think it's easier to start out with these right here. You could adjust these up and down. Okay, so I'm gonna put one of these on right now. But one of these, basically the top part of it, there's a weight on one side and there's a little thing on the other side. You could be like 3 or 4 of these for like $3. Okay, so the first one, you open up, let me put that up between my legs. Okay, you open the little one up with the hook and you hook it on the line. There's a spring in there, so you press on it. So then the other one, you push up and you wrap it around the bottom, and I always wrap it around twice around the bottom so it don't slide. Okay, so right now there's your hook and there's your bobber, but there's one other thing that I normally put on this. Okay, and you're gonna have to go by the weight when you're out there. These are little butterfly. You need pliers, but believe it or not, I'm a fisherman, so I use my teeth. These are just little weights, little slip shot weights. They're removable slip shot weights. There's a butterfly on the back of them, so you push the butterfly, and it opens it up. So then you put it. I normally put it on the well, you can put it anywhere really, but believe it or not, I normally put it where the knot is at. Is where I normally put it. It's gonna hold wherever you put it at. I normally put it where the knot is at. Bite it closed. Okay. So this will actually get a pretty far cast, believe it or not, with that little lead weight on it. But now with the trout chum, oh, I got this out here to show you that fishing is not an expensive sport. Now this is a 30-pound Zebco test line, and with this 30-pound line, I could use this in Mississippi. Actually, I think I bought it at the Walmart in Mississippi, but this is 250 yards. And this was $1.88 for this line. Now a lot of the reels you buy are already lined, but believe it or not, after so many years, I reline them because they got that constant swirl in them. So I bought this for $1.88. All right. I think there's like $3 or $4 for the trout chum. Gulp Alive was probably about $4, but the juice is reusable, so that's pretty cool. And I swear by Berkeley Gulp, because that's what I had that other thing there for. The power baits. I use these little minnows when I cast and retrieve, when I jig. I use these right here, and believe it or not, I get some fish that bite onto that tail and think it's a real minnow. And I mean, granted, the hook's not set, but they hold on to it. Do I bring them in? No, they let it out before then, but they do hold on to it. They do think this is real fish. Okay, so these are the minnows right here that I got. Now, with the trout chum right here, all right, they sell different type of stuff for different type of fish. All you do is make a ball out of this. Just make a little like Play-Doh ball out of this. And with the little Play-Doh ball, you put on your hook. But here's the catch right here. You do mush on your hook, but you leave the tip of your hook out. See, the tip of the hook is out. You leave the tip of the hook out because even if it's smaller fish that are biting at it, that can't get the whole thing in their mouth, if it's just smaller fish, when you yank up on this, that hooks the smaller fish. so the little ones are catching the smaller fish also. That's pretty cool. I mean that it's a way to kind of, you're almost snagging the fish. You're not biting it because they can't fit it in the mouth, but the kids are catching the fish, and that's what they like. Okay, now these are the maggots, the bee moth. They're not real. Now you could buy real ones if you're close to a shop or whatever. Go ahead and buy the real ones. I mean, they'll wiggle around still and everything, but these ain't real ones. And there's really not a lot of bait shops around me. But Gulp, I mean, that's completely like a real one right there. So what I do basically is I put it on the hook, but I kind of try to push it through the hook as best you can. It's kind of a little slippery little booger. Push it through the hook and it'll go around the curve. So it goes around the curve as best you can. And then at the end of it, I leave the little hook sticking out. So the little hook is sticking out. So when they bite it, even if they can't fit the whole thing in their mouth, they go ahead and they'll be able to snag up that little fish. Now sometimes when you're walking along the edge or whatever, you see them little fish and they're really active in that area. Well, believe it or not, if they see something small coming in there, they're actually going to go at it. Now when you have this hook on here, you click it once and it'll let more line come out, okay? Now if you have this bobber in here like this and you think it's a little bit deeper, all you do is push up on the spring and you should be able to move this bobber right here. See? And it goes deeper. Push up on the spring, pull it through, and then it goes deeper, so the line can go, the weight and the bobber will go deeper. Let me try to do it again. Okay. Yeah, so the weight and the bobber will go deeper. I mean, the weight and the bait will go deeper. Now in Missouri, what we wound up actually having to do was just take the bottom one all the way off. Let me get it back in there. Come on, work with me here. There it goes. Was take that all the way off, and then I let the new fisher person have the weight with the stuff and just sit on the bottom, and then you'll feel the pole like this when they're playing with it, and you just hook it up. And that's another thing that you got to let them know. When they feel it bouncing, that means there's something on it. Or if they see the bobber bobbing, that means there's something on it. It was so cute. The person I was with that was fishing in Missouri, he says, "Hey, I feel them. They're playing with the food." I says, "Well, you got to pull up on it to set the hook in there." They says, "Oh, that makes sense." Caught like 3, 4, 5 little bluegills, with this setup right here. So I mean, I'm doing this video. There's a lot of good old fishermen out there, but also that this is like, they don't need none of this information. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people that don't know and their kids want to go fishing. Well, this setup right here, say the whole thing with the minnows and with the chum and everything, say is 14 bucks is probably what it's going to be. And the kids will have a blast. And once they're hooked, they're hooked. They love fishing. So either way, get out there and enjoy fishing with the little ones. Put a pole in their hand instead of an Xbox controller. All right? Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.